Got
Well,
it.
everybody got a guest on that I don't know if I've ever had on in the entire lifespan of myself on YouTube with the old channel, the new channel, but he is definitely a face recognizable if you know Dick Algar and the crypto viewing guys. It's usually Dick Algar that has him on. He's a chartist, technical analyst when it comes to all kinds of different markets. From I know you talk about the dollar, the S&P, and Bitcoin, and a bunch of other cryptos and all and that sort of stuff. So I thought, this might be an interesting time, and I was actually talking to Dick. He goes, yeah. He goes, I think I'll call Marty. I think you guys need to chat. And I said, okay. But long story short is that I had a dream fairly recently, about it was during the middle of the day, and I'm like, I feel like I should go take a nap right now. Like something was almost egging me on, like go take a nap. So I did, and at the last minute of the nap, like, oh, I just saw this vision of this guy I know, John Kim, on Twitter, and he was posting in all caps, like all capital letters, like I told you, don't f with the king, da 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 da. And then he posts the price of Bitcoin, and I'll just say, since it's private on my Patreon, it's a decent amount higher. There's a good trade here, I think,
Cool.
potentially.
Are you going
And
to
so
tell us what it is?
no, I can't give you the price right now.
All
But
right.
I want to hear what you have to say about the technicals, and maybe
Sure.
it might.
Sure.
I mean, if it's right in line with what I got in the dream, that'd be actually pretty significant to me, and
Cool.
probably my followers. So, I'll, for everyone listening, let's see what Marty has to say, what his charts are going to show, and he's going to get it. He's going to get into it and share the screen and everything, and show his charts and what he's, probabilities and that sort of thing about what he thinks. Now, right off the bat, he does see a rise in the price coming, so that's pretty much enough for me to say, you know what, let's do a video, and we'll see what he has to say, and see what you guys think. So Marty, if you're ready,
Yeah.
do
Okay,
your thing.
Joe. It's nice. We met, by the way,
Yeah,
Joe
Theta
and I,
conference.
we met at the Theta conference in Florida. It was a lot of fun. The first time I'd been there. And so
What were
anyway,
those damn things we kept eating that were really good? Do you remember? They kept bringing them, and we were all like, "Oh, I want that." With the same
were
one, I
they
can't remember what it
were they
was.
edibles? I don't know.
Those little servers were bringing these little trays, and I was like,
I know
"Wow," like
the canapes, right?
it was something good. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah, it
anyways,
was
yeah, I met,
awesome.
I've known of them in, through Dick and them, and but it's like, oh, he's gonna be there too. So, but we got to meet, and
Yeah.
we had a good time. So
You have a few things in
good to have
common.
you.
And of course, we both
The
fly.
airplanes we talked, yeah, we
Yeah,
talked about
that was
planes.
a big thing. But I should just quickly, for anybody, because most of you people probably don't have a clue. As you know, I don't go on YouTube. I hate it.
Yeah,
I'm only on the channel. My background, Joe, is 1986. I became a broker, commodities and equities. And it was a passion. I loved it. And of course, what happened is over the years, I've developed my own way of analyzing charts. So I'm very much a technician. I don't believe personally that you can really trade off fundamentals because it's news. And a perfect example is what happened 2 days ago when the Saudis said they were cutting the production on crude oil. Whether we saw it or not, it opened in the morning $3.25 higher. And that was the absolute top. It opened and went nowhere but straight down. By the end of the day, it was exactly back where it started the day before. So, it's really tough. So anyway, what happens over the years, I was in the business for about 30 years. And then I had a bit of a health issue, got out of it. And meanwhile, I had developed my own program. And we joke about it. It's an old 25-year-old computer. It's on here. And it's a software program that I've worked. And I like it. I trust it. Now, there's no such thing as being perfect.
sure.
Technical analysis is not perfect, just like anything else. But I trust it. And for that reason, when it works, it's good. And when it doesn't, I got no one to blame but myself. So I enjoy that part of it. And as I said, what happens 3 years ago, a friend of Dick, who I'm speaking about, reached out to me and inquired and wondered if I'd be interested in doing some analysis for the crypto team. And I thought, heck, I'm retired. Why not? So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then in 2019, I created a space behind me here, up here, Bullshift 2020. And what that is actually is it was an idea to signify the bottom of a massive bear market that we saw in the commodities, because that was my expertise, the commodities, for 25, 30 years. And it was pretty close. We incorporated the company near the end of 2019. And then in 2020, in March, when they shut everything down, the bottom fell out of the commodities. The index went to 100, and it's currently up over 230. So it's gone up, or maybe 330. I can't remember. I can, it's not a big deal. Here it is right here, 260. So we're about 1.5x in the past 3 years. And that was what Bullshift's all about. So anyway, I do still work with Dick, and I have my own site, but I came here tonight, and I'm glad you invited me.
Well, what's your website while we're on it?
Oh, it's just bullshift2020.com. And we do have a free membership where you can just basically sign up your email. I put out recommended videos, and I do an analysis of commodities and crypto for the free subscribers. There's no charge for that part of it. So
Cool.
yeah, bullshift2020.com. Go check it out. All right. So what do we want to do now with your surprise?
And it doesn't have to be a long video, but I just want to look at Bitcoin in Bitcoin. Particular.
All right. So let's go to Bitcoin directly. All right. Let's share the screen.
This is the first time I've ever had a dream on Bitcoin.
Okay, cool. So now I explain to people that I don't really use TradingView as much as most people. I do use it now for my Zoom calls, but my program that I have is a different one. And jokingly, sometimes they say, like, I don't know how to work this thing. I get out of it what I need to get out of it. Okay. It is a charting system. It's quite nice. I like it, but I have my own chart system that was developed for me that I do my analysis on. But on here, I just draw lines. And can you see my chart okay, Joe?
Oh yeah, looks great.
So what we're looking at here is the daily chart on Bitcoin. Now, these parameters you see here, what happens is my computer, which we call the Oracle, gives me 3 or 4 or 5 different numbers and a time frame, not just a number, but a time frame. And what I do is I encase that time frame. And if it's with red, like you see here, that means major resistance, overhead resistance, these lines, and anywhere in this area. We had one right here, for example, last week, which means when you get in here, it's going to get resistance. It got right in there and pulled back. Now, the green one is a buy zone. When it comes into the green one, it's a buy area. So we came in here 1, 2, and we thought we were finished with it. And of course, they came out with a lawsuit. But guess what? I really like what I'm seeing here. So again, this is the day chart of Bitcoin. So you can see here, this is, you can zoom it out. But what I see here right now is, even though they listed maybe a half dozen tokens that were under scrutiny, but whether or not, they're securities, I think personally that could be very advantageous or very positive for Bitcoin, because think about it, the more tokens they knock off, the more altcoins. It just goes to show how sacred Bitcoin can be. So it came down again. And what it did do is it came right to the bottom of my range twice. Now, each one of these is a day candle. One candle equals 1 day. So yesterday, meaning prior to 7 o'clock tonight, it went to the bottom, and then it turned around, went right, touched the line. And of course, now we're sitting here. It is 8:40 p.m., Joe. That's Eastern time. You're in the same time zone as me, correct? And we're sitting here on Bitcoin.
Yeah, sorry, I got mute because there's a little noise out there. But yes,
that's okay.
Same time.
So we're now sitting, after getting as low as 25.3. We're currently at 27.3. So we've moved up $1,000. So that's a very nice big candle. Okay, let's get away from the candle a bit. This area here is another area that I thought we could potentially get down to, because I won't get into it, but I have a pattern that is about 80% reliable, and it suggests we need a 60% correction of this wave right here. And we haven't gotten there yet. We still might, but it's not the end of the world. My next target is up here, and it's up around the 31 to 34,000. And I expect that sometime between now and potentially before the end of July, that quickly. All right. But the big one that I'm looking at, and my computer only goes out so far, gives me so many numbers, is this one right here. This 37.5 to 40,000 is where I feel we're going to make before the end of the summer this year, at least that long. So that's the main one. I think once we get there, we're going to see a big correction. And I'm talking big, like a $10,000 to $12,000 correction, if we go there before we have that kind of a correction.
Okay,
So
let me break in.
okay.
I think Spirit's channeling to me right now. Just go ahead and tell everybody the number.
Which number?
Myself. They're telling me, go ahead and say the number. I got my dream.
Go ahead. I don't.
So that's your favorite one right now. That's what your
This one
software
here.
saying. This is the likely one.
Yeah, we're going to get to this one here. I suspect we'll get here
30.
and have another correction. This is 31 to 33, but the main one, I believe, from my experience in the markets, it's a big round number. It's 40,000. So I don't think we're going to quite make it. I think it's going to be somewhere between 37 and 40,000. And at that point, I'm looking for a massive correction and potentially taking some serious protection on my Bitcoin, maybe in the form of either replacing them with options, call options in the money. But I am looking for a good correction if we get up to that.
Well, let me just say let me just repeat my dream. So to everybody listening,
let me stop the share there for you. There you go.
So I went again. Something was telling me, and I was a little tired that day. I was like, go take a nap. Go take a nap. Oh, I'll go take a nap, middle of the day. And it was a short nap, and then at the very end, I saw the vision, like I mentioned. This John Kim, all capital letters. Don't mess with the effing king. I told you. Da, 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 And he writes Bitcoin at this number, and this number is in between what you just talked about of your favorite spot, the 37 to 40.
Okay, all right.
So I go in the dream. I'm like, let me go. It was just 27,000. Let me go see if I can see the price. And then all of a sudden, the scene changes.
Yeah.
And just everybody listening, imagine this box that you see where my camera is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All you can see of this whole screen, all of a sudden is filled in about as much as my body is like right now. And I'm gonna aim the way the ice cream cone was. Okay, my head was a strawberry ice cream. Okay, and the rest of my body down here was the cone. So ice cream cone. Giant, takes up the whole screen, like blaring red sirens. In other words, lick your ice cream when this happens. Because what does that mean? We're going down. It'll be a healthy correction. So that was my interpretation. You're literally speaking in technical terms with your special computer, and it's literally saying, as far as I'm concerned, maybe you had it first, of course, but it was just a few days ago for me. But nonetheless, that's what I got in the dream. So I'm going, holy shit. Like, I never get Bitcoin prices. So I mean, I hate to say it, but I think you're going to be dead on the money. Because I got my woo, the woo-woo, when the woo-woo and the TA collide, yeah, it's a done deal.
Hey, that sounds good to me. Now, I want to show you one thing for your people, just to show they figure, like, who the hell is this guy? What's he talking about?
Go for it, please.
Here, I want to show you something. This is with the team. If you can see my screen here.
Got it.
Okay. I'll turn it up so you can hear it, the volume. All right, so listen to what Dick says here.
Hey, I just put 250,000 on that silver option that you just don't want to know about it.
Okay, so fast forward. Here you go.
Remind people what I said. Oh yeah. Well, for those of you, I think we're going to leave that part in, but
okay, this is January 16th.
That was a great.
Okay, good.
That was a great call you made. Just to reiterate, last week you said we're still in the box, but you think it could break up. If it does, you were predicting $18,000 to $20,000 Bitcoin, which is exactly right on. And you mentioned that the bottom was in. It had been going sideways too long with, I think the word I used was just too much negativity to maintain the negativity.
Yeah,
so you had a brilliant call on that last week.
Okay, so that's one. And then 2 weeks later, basically, it's the same idea, but a bit different.
2020@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Folks, I had a couple private sessions.
All right, so that's 1345.
Money on silver and
13. Here you go.
this has done exactly what you have forecast. you called this run up exactly right. And last I talked to you yesterday,
There's
you
the
said
run-up.
you were expecting a little check back, but you said that there was still some upside to as high as 24, 25.
25. Okay, so I'll stop share that screen for 1 sec. And let's just quickly, Joe, go back just so people have an idea that I'm not some flake here that you just met at the session. So this was that run up here that we got, and we called the bottom right here. We said, that's it. The bottom is in. And that was the first week of January. And then we said 24 to 25. This was it here. And then we got the correction back to our green zone. So it's been pretty good. And it's not an exact science, but I hope you're right. I do think we're going to see the 37 to 40,000. And I do expect it this summer. I figure between now and before September, I think definitely. Now, having said that, we could even go higher, but I don't like to be overly optimistic. That's right.
Well, I'll throw this in there for the woo sake of things.
Okay.
So after I woke up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go do a Patreon post. I got a Bitcoin price for the first time. So I do my Patreon post. Hey guys, like I'm jumping in this trade right now. You know, we're waiting for this big fallout. And I go, I still think it's coming, but I think we may have a nice rally and then maybe the big fall. So I'm taking a position. So it was the same day. I'm back out downstairs, and there's two separate things. And I posted pictures, I think, in Patreon, like, oh my God, guys, this is my sign. So my sign is the number 22. But if I get a 222, it's like, hey, this isn't just your sign. This is like super duper your sign. Pay attention. I get the 222 twice, same day, sitting in my house. I go, okay, so what exactly does that mean? You might look at it and go, well, maybe that price is going to hit, near 40K, and that's what they're telling you. But my gut instinct, as I was seeing the 222 both times, is just my gut was going, this is going to be here sooner than most people think. This is going to happen sooner than most people think. So you better get in your position now. Yeah. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe it could be this month, or maybe July. I don't know. But I'm just going to throw it out there because I think I felt like the feeling was surprised, but I want to reiterate to everybody. The gigantic, enormous ice cream cone, which was typically my favorite, is strawberry. And that's what they showed me. Hey, Joe, here's your favorite ice cream cone. It's taking up the whole damn screen. Lick your ice cream. That means big, big, big lick. In other words, dump it. Get out of that position and take your profit and sit back on the sidelines because I think a big drop's coming. And you're literally saying it like you're expecting this big pullback.
I am
just matching everything.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Joe, that I always try and be cautious, right? I don't want to over exaggerate things. But there's a chance we might even go to closer to 50. Now, I'm not saying we're going to, but here's what happens with my analytics. It takes a measurement of time plus price volatility. So if things get really volatile, then what happens is my numbers that it spits out are a lot more volatile. So we could actually, believe it or not, almost reach 50. Now, I'm not saying we're going to. I am looking definitely for just around 40. But there's a second set of numbers that this thing could really rip, and then you can get FOMO. And of course, at that point, we know when it starts to run like that, you better take some profit because it ain't going to last, not when it has that kind of a move.
Well, I'll tell you, I had, I think it was earlier this year, if I recall. I was like, I know the market's going to come down. Theta, I think I might just unloaded the rest that I had at the time. And I go, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. So I do a Patreon post. I'm like, guys, I'm about to unload a big chunk of Theta. As soon as I unstake it, which takes almost 3 days, that night, and now it's $1.20 at the time. And I'm like, I'm just going to unload it at this price. I'm in all of it at 13 cents. So, didn't bother me. And I go, as soon as it unstakes, I'm just going to do a market, order, just unload it. And I get a dream immediately that night. Didn't ask for it. I'm watching myself sell it at $1.50. So I'm going, oh shit, that's 25 or whatever % more, or something like that. And I go, okay, thanks, Spirit. So I better change when that comes in, don't do a market order. So I tell everyone on Patreon, it hits $1.50. Didn't do it right away, but I mean, it happened fairly quick. While I'm there, I get another dream about Shiba, get this other trade, which was really good. But it hits $1.50, and I'm mentioning this because it went higher. It went to maybe $1.68 or 69, maybe. So
Which
that's
one?
quite a theta.
Oh, theta, yes.
So I'm telling everybody I'm selling $1.50. That's what they showed me in the dream.
Yeah.
But it did run up to like a dollar. Just going off of memory, $1.68, $1.69. So that's a nice little chunk higher than $1.50. So my point of saying that is they give me a nice sell order to tell everybody, here's some profit, lick your ice cream.
Yeah.
But they typically go higher than what I get. Now, considering the box you showed was 37 to 40, and you're talking maybe 48 to 50.
Well, the 4850 is another box, but the thing is, we know what happens when we get these kind of a run. It can just skyrocket and it can go straight up within a few hours and then lose it. And of course, that's where the FOMO kicks and everybody's jumping in when everybody else is taking their profit. So when you get a market that volatile, you're not able to stand in front of it. It's like standing in front of a train.
Yeah, get out.
Just get destroyed, right? But it probably will reach and start really running, and then people that were sitting back at 9 and 10,000 still waiting are just going to finally throw in the towel and jump in. And unfortunately, that's what usually happens, and that's when it's time to, as you say,
exit.
Exit.
Yeah, and I'm just for everybody listening, I'm not gonna risk the over 40 price. I got the dream, I got the numbers, I go with what I get. I'm not trying to catch the absolute top or the absolute bottoms. Just spirit gives me something. I obey it. I respect it. Thank you so much for the information. I can't believe I'm getting this. And I just do it. So this is very interesting, again, that I'm getting this on the woo-woo side.
Yeah.
And you, who's a great TA guy, literally, if you could interpret my dream on paper, that's what you're doing. But it's not that you're interpreting it.
No,
you're reading the data from your computer. Your computer is saying, hey, this is highly probable in this range, and by the way, it might even go higher.
Yeah.
And then a giant pullback. Well, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, we're going to get, the higher we go, the bigger the pullback, because like right now, I was hoping that we're going to get into a 24 handle. Now we got to 25.3. That's close, but a 24 would totally close out a thing that I have called a 5-point reverse wave. And it's so reliable. That's why I keep saying to Dick, we need to get into a 24, but it might not this time. But it doesn't matter. If we go to 30, 33, it just means it's going to come back again. That's 60%. But either way, my main focus is about the 37 to 40 within the next, say, 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully. And again, as things go along, maybe we can stay in touch. And if you want me to come back on and update it, if we get close to there, because things change. That's the beauty of technical analysis. Like this morning's chart looked completely different than tonight's, because this morning when it opened, we were at 25.3
and then just recovered.
Sorry, 25, and we're now at 27.3. We're 2,000 off the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, just instant. Oh, Binance, so good, and then whoop, back where we were. Have a nice day.
Exactly.
It's just incredible how this works. So yeah, definitely, we will get back together. And if this happens, we have to get back together because we're going to have to talk about it. You got it on the technical side. I got it on the freaking dream side. This is amazing. Hey guys, remember this video we did?
Yeah. Maybe we can we'll do a live session and get some audience participation. That'd be fun. I've never done a live session.
Yeah, because they may say, hey, can you pull the chart on this? And maybe
it'd be fun. I'd love it.
Something like that. And,
anyway, hopefully your dream comes true, and hopefully my analysis comes true, because that's a nice price. I'd like that.
It is. And again, for everybody out there, like, this is what I've been telling you the whole time I've gotten to crypto. I'm like, hey, if I can do it, you guys can do it. And look at me, I just did this and I just paid that off. And hey, I paid my house off with this data coin. And hey, and I'm like, I want you guys to do that too. There's plenty for everybody. There's so much money involved into this. Like, so when I hear that this thing can run up 30, whatever, something percent, like, I want you guys to capture it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not one of these things, hey, buy my ebook and pay me $50 and then, learn how I got rich quick and all this nonsense. Like, no, this is stuff everybody can do. And there's how much volume is in Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I mean, it's billions. And there's plenty. There's like billions of fish in a pond for us all.
Yeah.
Just don't get greedy. Lick your ice cream.
That's right. Yeah. And like I've always said to all of our members, we have private subscribers. We say, look, anytime you see a 20-30% return in 1 week, that's not normal. Where do you go today to get that kind of return? So don't be foolish. Most people are afraid of getting out because they're afraid they're going to miss the move. Well, if that's the case, just take half of it off the board. If you get a 20 or 30% return in a few weeks, do the math and figure out what kind of a percentage return in a year that would be.
It's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. So, I'm always in for, and when I do these targets, it's not that I want people to short them there. I'd say when we get to this area, it's a rest area. It's like a bus stop. Takes them off, keeps them on if you want or whatever, but you need to find the support and resistance levels and use them, because we do trade. These markets don't go in one direction. We've proven that twice now. When we went to 20,000 into 64, it comes back again, and it probably always will trade.
Yep.
Right.
Good deal. All right, everybody. Little round of applause for my guy Marty. For all of you who we can't hear.
Nice talking to you again, Joe, for sure. Hey, I'm looking forward to our conference again. I think it's in November this year.
Is it where at? Is it down here again?
I think it's in Texas. I think it's in
Texas.
Austin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You're in Florida. Hey, you'll have to take your little chopper. You still have it?
Yeah. Yep.
Go across the Gulf, right?
No, not across the water. No, thanks.
No,
I'll be skirting around the outer edge. No, thank you.
Awesome. Well, stay in touch. It's great. Yeah, it's a pleasure. I really enjoyed it, Joe. Good talking to you.
Good deal. We'll talk again. Take care.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.